All good things come to those who wait.
The Vanguard is a state-of-the-art armoured tactical SUV and the very first vehicle to be introduced into the Valaverse Action Force toy line. In this video we'll give you an up-close and personal look at this stunning new toy. We'll be covering all the accessories, weapons and other cool features. So strap yourselves in, because it's time for action.
Come with me, toy fans.
I think he asked how many Vanguards you order, and I said, I think shipping's going to be a little rough for Tony.
How many can you fit in your toy room, in your collection room?
None.
Oh.
Stop it. I see a bunch of Marvel Legends behind you and a Ghostbusters firehouse.
Oh, oh man.
That was amazing. Because you did that and it was so awesome, I'm sending one to you just because you did that.
True to his word, Action Force designer Bobby Valler sent me a production sample of the Vanguard for us to take a look at. And I'm really pleased that he sent me the Desert Tan version, because I personally pre-ordered the Stealth Grey Vanguard. This vehicle comes packaged in a solid box with 2-colour printed artwork. This is a quite simple design that allowed Valaverse to put more value into the toy itself, and Bobby has said that this box design was inspired by the Sears mail-away packaging for their Jabba the Hutt action playset from 1983. The Action Force Vanguard is an officially licensed version of the real-world Rezvani tank, and as such, the Rezvani logo is proudly displayed in the bottom left corner of the box. In the upper left corner there is text that reads Action Force Vanguard, Desert Tan, Missile Launcher included, and the latter part of this text only appears on pre-ordered Vanguard boxes, as the missile launcher will not come included with the other Vanguards that go up for sale today on the Valaverse website. The back of the box features a blueprint layout that shows all the included contents, and on the bottom we have 5 action points that can be cut out and used later this year to send away for the exclusive mail-away Pandora action figure. But enough about the packaging, you guys are here to see the toy, so let's not waste any more time. Out of the box, the Vanguard measures approximately 19 inches long, 8.5 inches tall and almost 9 inches wide, and it features a very sturdy construction. While this toy is designed for the adult collector, I'm certain that it would stand up to some very rugged play from kids. It's definitely more durable than a lot of the G.I. Joe vehicles that I played with in childhood. There is some excellent detail on the undercarriage, real rubber tyres, translucent head and tail light lenses, a tow hitch, reflective wing mirrors, and the overall sculpt is extremely accurate to the real Rezvani tank upon which it is based. The opening doors have some nice texture and detail on the inside, and these can be removed from the vehicle to give greater access to the main cab, which has some fantastic features. There is a vinyl type texture applied to the floor, and each of the seats is nicely sculpted with a leather texture and detailed stitching. Both front seats are adjustable to accommodate different size passengers, and you can fit a total of 4 action figures in here. I had been wondering why Valaverse didn't include seat belts. Not because I wanted this extra detail, but I didn't want the figures to fall out when the Vanguard goes vroom vroom across the floor. Well, it turns out that seatbelts are not necessary, because the figures fit so well in the seats that you can literally tip the Vanguard onto its side and they won't fall out. A touch of silver paint breathes life into the dashboard console, and there is a small Action Force logo printed on the centre of the steering wheel, which actually works, allowing you to steer the front tyres from the driver's seat. We also have the Rezvani logo situated on the front bumper, and the company's name is printed on the rear in red lettering. The included sticker sheet allows you to customise your Vanguard in multiple ways. I have added the Action Force logo to the doors. Swarm kill counts adorn the rear quarter panel, and my Vanguard warns tailgaters that we shoot back. In fact, there are so many sticker options included on this sheet that you'd be crazy to use all of them, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how other collectors deck out their Vanguards when they start arriving in the next few days. So that's the main vehicle. Now let's take a look at the included equipment. A nicely sculpted entrenching tool clips onto the front of the vehicle, and 2 jerry cans can be stowed in the rear, and I love the addition of these pieces of equipment. While Valaverse remains the industry leader when it comes to accurate 1:12 scaled military weaponry, It's pieces of equipment like this that really help collectors flesh out their diorama displays, and I hope we get more of this type of kit in the future, such as radios and sandbags. Another piece of equipment included with the Vanguard is the working winch that has around 10 inches of cable connected to the hook. This winch is attached to the front of the vehicle via 2 ports, and at the DFW G.I. Joe show panel, Valaverse announced plans to offer upgrade kits that will utilise these ports to attach new items, such as a brush guard and a cow catcher. The escape hatch fitted to the roof of the Vanguard is removable, and you can switch this out for the included machine gun turret. This armoured turret accommodates a machine gunner quite comfortably, and it not only rotates, but there is actually a ratchet system that satisfyingly clicks into place every 12th of a turn. The twin mounted machine guns are also well detailed, and the belts of ammunition are perfectly painted. The rear sight makes this look like an anti-aircraft gun, but unfortunately, while the barrels can be pivoted left and right, they do not move up or down. Valaverse has also included a twin barrel blast effect, but I'm not a fan of this add-on because I just feel it's a little bit too large. Additional fire support is provided by a weapon system that I've been begging Bobby to add to the line since Series 1. The M240 machine gun has been issued with a belt of linked rounds fed from an ammo box, all of which is mounted to a control arm that can be hung from the side of the turret. Yet I don't think it looks quite correct here, as it sits just a little too high. Alternatively, you can open up the back of the Vanguard and have the 240 mounted at the rear. This area easily accommodates an Action Force figure and can be used to fend off a pursuing enemy. The 240 Bravo also comes with an extra longer ammo belt in case you want Trigger to go full Rambo on the Garrison Cavalry. The Vanguard drivers, codenamed Reapers, give us our first look at the new Action Force Series 5 figure bodies. The Desert Vanguard comes with a tan coloured driver, whereas the Stealth Grey Vanguard is operated by a Reaper wearing a green and black uniform. These characters are afforded all the articulation we've come to expect from Valaverse Action Force figures, with one significant difference: the double jointed neck. Many fans have been asking for this articulation point to be added to the new Series 5 figures, but I was not one of them. I had no issue with the existing neck articulation on these figures, and I became strongly against the whole idea of a double jointed neck after I saw how poorly executed it was on Hasbro's 60th anniversary G.I. Joe Action Soldier. That figure had barely any ability to move its head up or down, but fortunately for us, Valaverse would never introduce new articulation if it didn't function correctly, and I'm quite surprised at the range of movement they've managed to achieve here. I also really like the sculpting of the new uniform, in particular the new lower cut boots. And yes, these figures can be equipped with all the pre-existing gear available in the Action Force range. As with all Valaverse figures, the Reapers come supplied with multiple sets of hands and a display stand, yet the original steel checker plate stand has been retired in favour of this new design. Finally, the Reapers are accessorised with a newly tooled pistol and 2 of the coolest items ever offered by Valaverse: a coffee cup and a can of energy drink. The cup sports the Action Force logo, so no swarm allowed here, and the energy drink has the word Vanguard written down the side, and they fit perfectly in the vehicle's cup holders. While the missile launcher only came packed in with pre-ordered Vanguards, this attachment will be available separately and it goes up for sale today on the Valaverse website. Initially, I wasn't overly excited about the missile launcher, as I wanted to display my vehicle with the machine gun turret, but now that I have it in hand, I love the way this looks when attached to the roof. The launcher can be rotated, and it also clicks into the ratcheted positions the same way that the turret does. Yet the launcher can also be elevated, and held in this position thanks to a very firm plastic click. The included 12 missiles fit snugly into the launch tubes with 6 on each side, and 3 additional missiles are also provided with attached blast effects, with each one being a slightly different length. To cap off this missile firing effect, there is also a single backblast attachment. And while I didn't like the blast effect included with the machine gun turret, these firing missile effects are truly stunning and really bring your Vanguard's missile launcher to life. The Vanguard is advertised as being capable of carrying up to 10 Action Force troops. So let's test this out. With 4 troops seated in the main cab, 1 in the turret and 1 in the rear gunner's position, an additional 4 troops can be deployed by riding on the side rails and hanging onto the handrails situated on either side of the roof. The capacity to move so many operators at one time makes the Vanguard the ideal vehicle for use by a quick reaction force, and it looks truly impressive when displayed with this many figures. There has been a lot of discussion online comparing the Vanguard to other 1 to 12 scaled vehicles, so let's take a look at a few of these comparisons. First up, we have the Marvel Legends World War II Captain America, and this makes the Hasbro motorcycle appear significantly undersized. Here it is next to Rambo's 6x6 Defender Jeep, and now we have the Vanguard next to the G.I. Joe classified Vamp. And before anyone jumps in the comments getting angry at me for even making this comparison, please remember that I clearly stated in a recent video that I really like the toy. Sure, it's smaller than the Vanguard, but the Vamp also sold for significantly less, and I'm happy to have both of these vehicles in my collection. Finally, we have the Vanguard next to my radio-controlled Humvee, and these look truly amazing together. But at a retail price of $185, plus free shipping in the continental United States, the Vanguard is a significantly cheaper option than the Hummer. If you missed the pre-order window for the Action Force Vanguard, then fear not. The rest of the stock goes up for sale today on Valaverse.com. You'll find a link in the video description below. The tan Vanguard is now the main ride for my Action Force Desert Patrol, and I can't wait for my pre-ordered Stealth Grey version to arrive, so that I can arm it with the missile launcher and issue it to the Steel Brigade. I have thoroughly enjoyed my experience with Valaverse's first Action Force vehicle, and I know you will too. Collectors will have hours and hours of enjoyment when their Vanguards start arriving in the next few days. This vehicle looks great on display, and is sizable enough for you to have an entire squad of troops interact with it. This first entry into the Action Force motor pool is truly impressive, and I'm waiting with bated breath for whatever vehicle Valaverse brings us next.